What up, guys? Making a new video here, a follow-up from my last video about MoistCritikal, aka Charlie, being canceled by Dark Viper. Dark Viper wrote a 14-page essay about how reaction channels are ruining everything. He made one good point that was overshadowed by many very bad points. He made a response, in my opinion, he made a response video to Charlie's video. I'm going to react to his because I feel like it's the best way to engage with both arguments because he shows Charlie's argument. So, my dudes, let's just get right into it.
To put it another way, Charlie has not come close even once to talking about what I actually said in the document. There is no flattering explanation that I could possibly give for that. Let's play a game. Let's see how many of these words are actually in this document. Sexual, no. How about abuse? Oh, we got report abuse at the top here. How about criminal? No. How about predator? No, not that either. How about rapist? No. It's almost like Charlie is making shit up and I don't understand why. My point was, consent matters, and the idea of asking consent after you've already done the thing is clearly not good. What annoys me most about
Well, how long of a sneak peek is this, man? Let's just jump right into the dang thing. I'm here to watch.
Critical's video is not that he disagrees with me, it's that he doesn't even understand what the document said. So MoistCritikal...
All right, well, I've read the document. I understand it. Talk to me.
has made a response video to something that people think is involved with me somehow. I don't know what he's responding to.
Yo, this is such a reaction meta. There's three boxed bozos here with hot takes. Let's see if you can pick one talking head from the other.
Here. But I did write a 14-page script explaining why I don't like reactors and I think they're bad people. Whatever he's looking at here isn't that, because basically nothing of what he talks about in this video do I talk about in that script. That is a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'm somewhat at a disadvantage now. Because Charlie has made a response video to an unreleased YouTube video, my best response would be to just make the video. Because anyone who watched it would understand all the things that Charlie didn't understand when he...
Why did you put out a script publicly and then you're crying when your fans start attacking Charlie? And of course, he has every right to respond to it. What, you need his consent for that too? I mean, you put out the script, dude. Just make the video. I don't know what you want.
Might have read the script. I'm not 100% sure. But I don't have time for that. It's a 14-page document, and I am being...
You sure as hell got time. This 47-minute video, dude.
...defamed by this man. MoistCritikal knows that his video is going to reach far more people than will ever actually read that document. So he has free reign to misrepresent what's in it to 99.99999% of people. He didn't even have the courtesy to link the document so people could fact check him. He could legitimately just say, well, Dark Viper's out here saying that I fucked the Loch Ness Monster. I didn't fuck the Loch Ness Monster. People are like, wow, this Dark Viper claiming that Moist...
So did he say you fucked the Loch Ness Monster or not? Let's see, let's see what he said. I linked the document in my last one. I'll link it in this one too if you guys want to read it.
Critical fucked the Loch Ness Monster? Shameful. He also knows that my video
By the way, did this guy fuck the Loch Ness Monster? He seems to be specifically caught up on that.
Refuting him will also reach one fraction of a percent of
Viper fucked the Loch Ness Monster, you guys. Crazy.
People who watch his video. This is the power that large content creators have to shape a narrative, regardless of how false.
And it really heats up. This gets wild and wacky for the touchdown real quick. There's a whole section in here where he basically compares reactors to sexual abuse criminals and insinuates that they'd be likely to spike your drink at a party, take silence for consent. Basically is comparing React content creators to...
This is on page 8 of 14. And as an offhand remark, in brackets, this is Charlie's attempt to poison the well.
I read the document. I think Charlie was basically on point here. Viper, if you guys watched, made a really unsavory comparison to reactors not getting consent to use other people's video, which is a whole weird thing, the whole thing of trying to get consent. It's free speech. You don't need consent for speech. He compares it to essay. He says it's like spike. He says maybe because a reactor has spiked your drink at a party. It's not an offhand comment because he continues down where he says it's down, but he says it'd be scary to go to a party with a reactor because they don't understand consent. Not an offhand comment.
Guys, I'm going to take this thing entirely out of context to present it as something that it clearly is not. in order to poison you against a 14-page meticulously written document. What the hell, Charlie? I didn't have...
By the way, 14 pages. Listen. 14 pages is nothing to scoff at. But let's be honest. When you say 14 pages meticulously written, this isn't like the manifesto of... this isn't Karl Marx, Communist Manifesto, whatever. It's just a little fucking Word doc you put together. It's not scripture, dude.
I have the highest opinion of you, but what the hell is this? He is so keen to poison you against this.
Yeah, so he's making a big point about like that he drew this comparison to Essay, and Charlie was 100% right to draw that comparison, as we showed in our last video. This dude went so far out of bounds with that comparison. Not good. Charlie 100% right there. Especially, and Charlie didn't make a big deal of it. By the looks of it, he just made a little bit of a joke, which he was more than warranted to have made.
This 14-page, meticulously argued document that he goes to the length of finding tweets out of context. He doesn't show the context. And it's just like, here's what the document's about. It's 14 pages!
Dude, 14 pages is not that long. Have you ever read a book? Just saying.
Reactors will frequently say they have the right to steal as much of a person's labor as they like until that person says no. If you work 10 minutes, 10 hours, 10 weeks, 10 years, it doesn't matter. They have a right to your content. It is only after you find out that your opinion is apparently meant to matter. This is, of course, analogous to any situation where you ignore consent for your own gain. I did not at any point say reactors are racist. I said it is analogous to situations where you would ignore...
You made a comparison. Everybody knows that you don't think crit is an R word. It's like, obviously, bro. That would be an insane thing to say. You're comparing it. It's whatever you want to say. It's stupid. It's bad. It's not the same. Commentary is speech. Rape is an act of violence against another person. It's an insane comparison. It's not a good analogy, bro. And your pupils are super dilated, too. What's that about?
Consent for your own gain. The idea that it's okay to...
Why is his pupil so... Yo. Why are his pupils so dilated? Y'all seen that? This guy's got some... This guy's got something. I'm telling you. This guy's got something in his bloodstream, man.
I said it is analogous to situations where you would ignore consent for your own gain. The idea that it's okay to ask for consent after the fact is obviously a very stupid idea. However,
it is very stupid because you don't need consent to exercise free speech. There is nothing to... free speech, critical commentary, fair use, nothing about it includes consent. If you needed consent, then there would be no value for critical commentary because nobody would give consent to that. If you made a shitty movie or a shitty game or a shitty YouTube video, you're not going to give people consent to make bad reviews of it. It's so stupid. I don't know where this guy brought up with this idea of consent. It's speech, bro. I don't need anyone's permission to say anything. That's America.
This is one that reactors will constantly say. As for taking silence for consent, that is literally what reactors do. A person has not given you consent to re-upload their content, and you say, well, they haven't said no yet.
I don't need consent.
So I must have consent. To again clarify, if you read them in context, they're clearly analogies.
Dude, are you really defining analogies? We know you made a bad analogy. That's what Charlie is saying. He said you made a bad analogy, bro.
That are used to explain two things to make something more clear.
Oh my
that
God,
being the
dude,
idea of asking for consent after you perform the action is obviously absurd.
In his own document, he admits that he himself was a reactor. He is engaged in a lot of React content himself. So at one point, were you a racist, Dark Viper?
I, of course, did not call myself a reactor. In fact, I defined reactor very specifically in the first paragraph, which, of course, Critical does not show because it would undercut this point massively. We'll see that later on. I was talking about a very specific form
so angry, then so reasonable.
Of content of which I've never made. I also, quite obviously, didn't refer to reactors as rapists.
You made the analogy, this whole thing, you're getting into semantics. Charlie's obviously making an over-the-top joke, just like you did. Nobody thinks anybody's a rapist here. It's obvious. Let's not get caught up on semantics here. You made a bad analogy. End of story, dude.
The common theme in this video is Charlie going to be like, I'm not going to show you where he said this, but I swear he said it. And I'm going to be like, I didn't say that. And that's all the defense I can give myself because it's not in the script. This is generally speaking why you let a person make a video first, Charlie, rather than handpicking parts from a script to be dishonest.
Of course you don't do that anymore and you deleted all
Then don't put the script out, bro. I don't know what to tell you. You're taking the L, man.
the videos, but at one point you did engage in the exact same content that you're coming out so heavily against right now.
In the document, I expressly outline in intricate detail why that is not the case. But even if that was true, all it would do is make me a hypocrite. It wouldn't make anything I say untrue.
That I agree with. I hate when this happens a lot in the creator space. Is like, if you can prove this person is a hypocrite, then you win the argument. Like, you see that not just in creator space, everywhere. It's like, it doesn't matter if the person's a hypocrite. It doesn't that does not invalidate anything they said. And this point, I think I agree with Sir Speedy Viper here, who just did a line of meth based on his pupil dilation. All good though, all love, no hate. I totally agree, man. That's just whack. It's like, dude, address the points. I'm with you there, Vipes.
It does not even for a moment actually attack my arguments that I put forth in the document. It is whataboutism. Charlie has done everything to avoid the actual content of what I talked about. This is an addendum on page 14 that he's talking about first.
14 pages! Ela, have you ever read 14 pages in your life? He wrote 14 meticulous pages. He's acting like it's like the Bible. He keeps talking about, I wrote 14 pages!
It's an outrageous claim, obviously. However, he does make legitimate points in the document. It's overshadowed by this unhinged rant that he goes on.
Keep in mind, he's talking about a bracketed sentence on page...
No, he's actually, I thought Charlie said that perfectly. Because it is unhinged. It is unhinged. You make good points, and the rest of it is very unhinged and very bitter. So you not only do you make a comparison to our word, you also make a comparison to slavery, which I covered in my last one. Another horrible analogy, dude. So Charlie hit the nail on the head there.
8 of a text document and calling it an unhinged rant.
It is.
Even if you don't like me, can you grant that he's not being fair?
He is being fair. And the same, especially someone who wrote kind of such a bitter document with all these, you say yourself that you're doing hyperbole. So why can you do hyperbole and Charlie can't? It makes no sense. I'm willing to bet that the amount of people that are watching Viper's video and agreeing with him haven't read the documents themselves, because Charlie is right. It is mostly very unhinged and very bitter. I recommend you guys actually read the document if you're coming here from Viper's videos and thinking he's right.
A video correcting something I talked about, which was how much money YouTubers make from short content.
Not only did I correct MoistCritikal, but Ludwig also made a video correcting him. And what was really annoying is MoistCritikal left that video up. His entire video that I corrected is wrong. As Moist...
I'm not familiar, but it doesn't seem like that serious of an infraction. If it's like, this is how much money I made on shorts, and it's off by a few decibels or whatever, it's like, it's not that serious, bro. It's not like life-altering information. So, I don't really think it's a big deal if Charlie kept that video up.
will now admit, but he left it up anyway. 1.3 million people did MoistCritikal give false information to, and he did not give 2 fucks. Did not take the video.
Dude, it's not like he said, the end of the world is happening tomorrow and everybody get in the sewer and, get in the bunker. He said that, you make he got the money on shorts wrong a little bit, dude. It's not that serious.
Video down. Did not submit a retraction. Did not give people actual information.
Retraction?
No.
What do you want, bro?
In the original case, made a 10-minute video rambling about stuff that is complete.
Guys, I am sorry to say, I said that you actually get $1 per 1,000 views on shorts, and I'm regrettably have been proven wrong. It's actually $2.50. I'm so sorry for this massive mistake. I have taken now the video at my great shame, and I am just in awe of Viper's correct information. It's nothing, bro. It doesn't matter.
Completely untrue. When shown that it's untrue, didn't give a fuck.
Obviously, I do react content from time to time, 100%. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not trying to bury it in the past and hide it, pretend like I didn't, or try and justify it, because I'm not embarrassed of it.
There's not something to brag about. It is something you should be ashamed of. You have a staggering amount of money, which you could use to pay people to make content for you, but instead you just take it for free from people you don't even ask.
When I react to something, I'm constantly trying to either pause it and add something to it or interject comedy into it. I treat React content like Mystery Science Theater.
That is hilarious, because Mystery Science Theater actually asked for consent for every single movie that they used, and what they watched was like 40 years old!
So Mystery Science Theater is actually an interesting case. He's right that Mystery Science Theater got consent and they also licensed the video. The reason for that, though, is not what Viper thinks. In actuality, there's a very good chance that if Mystery Science Theater had to get sued and go to court to prove fair use, that they would win. They're owned by a big studio. They didn't want to take any risks of getting sued. And so they went the route of licensing the films. That doesn't mean that they're not fair use. It just means that they approached it in a very safe way.
You're watching videos as they're fresh off the presses without asking for consent. You are the furthest thing from Mystery Science Theater that could possibly exist. Mystery Science Theater had like edited sketches and stuff in their content. What is he talking about? And they at least had some idea what the content was beforehand, so they knew whether or not they could make good content out of it.
Now, of course, not every time is going to be a hit, which is why you'll find plenty of videos where I'm reacting to something like The Downfall of Quibi, which comes from a great channel that I really like to watch, and I just got too engrossed in their storytelling and the way they presented it that I didn't add anything to it. So I ended up just kind of watching it with my community.
So not only do I really heavily attack that idea that anyone can transform a 6-month work by pausing it every once in a while and going, I think that's funny. Here's an idea for your revolutionary...
That's not good what Charlie just admitted to. It doesn't matter if you publish it on YouTube. If you're watching it on Twitch, actually, I don't know, because there is, to be honest, this gets really complicated in terms of what is fair or what considers published, what is considered commercial, because if he's streaming it and not publishing it to YouTube, it is treated a little bit differently. But on the whole, I think that it's not a good thing that Charlie says that, because at the end of the day, we as creators want to be on the right side of fair use here. But I'm not totally, like I said, it's complicated. I'm not totally convinced that if you're streaming something, it's probably not good. I think it's not good. I'm just wondering, could someone like who made The Downfall of Quibi sue Charlie for copyright infringement if the video wasn't saved anywhere? And the answer is probably yes. But ultimately, when you lose, you have to prove damages. And it's like the damages on that would have to be really low. So I don't know. I just don't know. But Charlie says, I saw that part. He says, I reacted to it. I just ended up watching it, so I didn't upload it to YouTube because I didn't add any commentary. And I said, that's good. That's good that Charlie didn't upload that,
concept. How about you watch the video first? And then once you've watched the video, you say, hey, I actually have nothing of interest to add here. I'm not going to make a video out of it. Or you might say, hey, I have something interesting to add. I'm going to take that individual part in the middle where I have something to add and make my own video about it.
Here's an idea. How about you do whatever the fuck you want to do and you don't tell people what the fuck they should do? Because guess what? Fair use doesn't give a shit if you watch the video first or not. I didn't watch this video first. And what am I doing? Did I need your consent to watch this and criticize you? Your points make no sense, bro. It doesn't make any sense. This guy is advocating for basically stomping on free speech, stomping on the face of legal free speech. I cannot criticize this man. I have to show that I've done preparation, that I've watched it before and thought, well, I have something good to add. I didn't watch your video beforehand, bro. And guess what? I don't need your consent to watch it and say you're an asshole and a dumbass too. And your points are bad and you're on meth. I can say all that stuff, dude. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. It's free speech.
The script for my video is 14 pages long.
14 pages? Have you ever read 14 pages? I have not. The most pages I've ever read at once was 5 pages. This man is like the most prolific writer of all time.
He goes into intricate detail why what Moist is saying here is fucking nonsense. If he sincerely believed he had something of value to add to a video, he'd watch it and then make it into a video.
He doesn't have to do that. You can do whatever the fuck you want. If that's how you want to make content, great. If Charlie doesn't want to do that, it has nothing to do with fair use, and you don't get to tell him what to do. Because this is America. This is America. You suck. Fuck you. I'll have what he's having.
Putting in the effort rather than watching it and rolling the dice. Guys, sometimes I do things that are good, and therefore all the times where I don't do something good, it's perfectly fine. This logic doesn't track.
No, you actually...
And yeah, I always feel guilty when something like that happens, but that's never the goal.
You're the one that's editing him and doing him dirty, because he said, sometimes I'll react to something on Twitch, and if it's not good, I won't upload it to YouTube, which is a fair point.
Question a person's ability to feel guilt after doing something thousands of times and never changing their behavior.
Dark Viper's entire document here is about this belief that every reactor is doing it for financial gain and to fuck small channels. And the logic he uses to make these points is deeply flawed and isn't substantiated by any real evidence. It just feels like he pulls it out of his ass and it's source, trust me, bro.
Guys, I want you to think for a moment. What are the odds that a person writes a 14-page...
14 pages! This man wrote a 14-page essay. Nobody's ever written that much on a topic. It's intricate. He's so intricate. It's so detailed. 14 pages. Oh my God, this guy's an expert. This guy have a PhD or something?
Document that can be summarized that simply. Moist is literally misrepresenting all of my work and then saying, look guys, just trust me, that's what it says. What a hypocrite.
I think it was a fair summary, bro. Like, if he got something wrong, you tell us. But I think he gave, like, a fairly accurate summary.
He has an understanding of capitalism and the free market, and that's what he's using to base all of these claims on, even though it's not directly applicable to YouTube itself.
So I write a script where I make points to...
How many pages?
Substantiate that point. And Moist says, so he says this thing, and no... What a witty retort, just not showing people what I said or how I can justify that comparison and just saying no. Wow.
I wonder how many small channels are out there shaking their fist right now like, damn you, Pokimane, my channel died because you watched my video on your stream and...
He's right, 0, I think.
...said nice things about me. I had such a promising career as a YouTuber till you said nice things about my video on stream to your audience of 30,000 concurrent viewers. Now I'm fucking trashed. I'm ruined. And to be fair, that's not the exact point he's making.
You spend the entire first quarter of your video misrepresenting what I said and poisoning the well. Then you specifically say something you know is not true and say, well, to be fair. No, you are not being fair. You are actively misrepresenting the content of the script.
He keeps saying Charlie's misrepresenting him, but he doesn't say what he's misrepresented. The document clearly says that big creators, React creators, are stealing content from small creators, that the benefit to them is basically greatly exaggerated to the point of being nothing, and that he makes a point of saying, you know, that they're stealing views, like that the world is not wide enough for everybody, and that people are watching their videos instead of the original author of the videos. I don't think Charlie is misrepresenting you that much, dude, and I'd like you to tell us what he's getting so wrong instead of just screaming he's misrepresenting you. How many pages was that essay, by the way? I'm waiting for him to say that again.
Because you know you can, because there isn't a video yet. You know that people won't actually read it. If that wasn't a point I was making, Moist, why did you say it?
Now, to show his point in the actual document, he goes on to describe how effortless it is to make React content, which he is absolutely in the right on. This is an inarguable truth. That's just blasting your ass with facts and logic 100%. He's totally right there. And he's right there again.
This man spends 6 minutes defaming me, poisoning the well.
Shut up, bro. You just don't say defame. These people come out, they start saying defame. Shut up. You guys got to stop saying defame. Stop, bro. There's no defamation happening here. Nothing even close to defaming, okay?
Misrepresenting my words.
No.
Then when he gets to my actual words, he says, well, he's right.
Look at someone like Sniper Wolf. She's able to do one a day and she's making, I think, 700 million views a month or something. She is the biggest React channel online, like anywhere on the internet. And what's shocking about Dark Viper's document is she's not listed here by name. He only goes with Twitch streamers, even though Sniper Wolf does the same thing. So,
well, I think the reason to defend Viper is because of like what you said about the Quibi thing there, Charlie, about how you just watch it and then don't say anything, right? So I do think that that's more egregious than probably whatever Sniper Wolf is uploading.
So I found that to be weird because that would have been another great point here.
But you've read the document. You know why Sniper Wolf's not on there. Keep in mind that reactors are not reviewers, analysts, documentarians, expert critics, or video essayists. They are people who present their first experience of a video as content, doing so with no idea if they have anything of substance to contribute, as they haven't seen the content before. In other words, they present their reaction to something they have not seen, instead of putting actual effort into making something after the fact once they know they have something of value to add. What Sniper Wolf makes is technically after the fact.
How do you know that? I bet you dude, I bet you Sniper Wolf goes in raw and does those in one take, dude.
Desired to limit the scope of what I was talking about in the video, because making it too broad would make it far too long. Discussing the viability of using other people's clips or TikToks which don't make any money is...
By the way, I talked about my last video, but this is actually one of the worst, most toxic takes for free speech ever. He says, reactors are not reviewers, analysts, documentarians, expert critics, or video essayists. This is like... This is what Matt Haas tried to argue when he sued us, is that I'm not a professional. And first of all, speech is not only allowed for professional critics, okay? And then what do you say? How do you define a critic? How do you define an essayist? Is it 14 pages? Is that what makes an essayist? You know, it's like you don't need qualifications to have an opinion, dude. That's not how free speech works.
Videos do contain editing and effects and text on screen and shit. And they can remove stuff if they don't think it's very good. Is it probably still exploitative? Hey, maybe I'll make a video on that when it's relevant.
He argues that this flood of React content takes from the finite pool of impressions, so it takes those eyeballs and puts it towards the React content as opposed to going towards the original content that they would have found elsewhere if the React content didn't exist.
I don't argue it. That is just a fact of how these platforms work.
Wrong. Not a fact. Totally disagree with that premise. How can you say I don't argue it? It's a fact. If you can say it's a fact, you better come with mad data, bro. You better come with mad analytics with click-through rates, impressions, dates, when this video was published, how it affected this video. You can't say it's facts. It's a simple hypothesis with literally no evidence.
Every time a React video appears on someone's page, a different video would have appeared there if that React video didn't exist. Because all impressions are 100% assigned. Every single impression that a React video gets would have gone...
The point is so stupid. Well, this video, I don't like this video, so I want my videos there instead of someone else's. Bro, that's not how it works. Okay? You know? I'll tell you what, if Mr. Beast didn't have a channel, PewDiePie didn't exist, Crit didn't exist, Good Mythical Morning didn't exist, I'd have a lot more views. You know? I don't like that. I don't like them taking up my homepage.
Choose someone else who is an original content creator. Reactors can therefore only ever be the middlemen in these platforms, taking impressions from all other original content creators and giving a small amount back to other people. Reactors do not somehow manifest additional impressions. There is...
This is such a, convoluted way of describing it. Somebody watches someone like Charlie, and a video he reacts to gets 3 million views, and the original has 100,000. You bet your ass that original video is going to get a lot more views. Take, for example, R. Kelly, Do You Have Your Shots? Do You Have Your Passports? We went back in time when we first started talking about that video in 2018. It had 100,000 views. And now in this year, it had 2 million views because we talk about it so much. It's not a matter of impression. I mean, how do you describe the complex nature of how people use YouTube? I mean, maybe they stay on the page longer to go check out that other video. I mean, who's to say? It's just nonsense.
There's no free lunch in this industry. The impressions they give out are a portion of what they steal from other people.
I'm skipping ahead just a bit because this part is also still part of the same umbrella claim. He says, if your content is good, then it will get exposure naturally, and so you don't need reactors. He's absolutely right, of course you don't need reactors, but he says if your content is good, it will naturally get exposure. Okay, based on what?
By the way, this whole point, this whole back and forth is entirely moot, because the point is, it doesn't matter if somebody's getting exposure. It doesn't matter about impressions. We're talking about free speech. Nothing qualifies that. You have a right, if you like it or not, dude.
Where's your evidence to support that claim?
A reactor can't make another person's content good. If your content is bad, no amount of reactions will save it. If your content is good, then it will get exposure naturally, and so you don't need reactors. A reactor can't make your career. Only you producing good content can do that. It is therefore amusing when reactors blame the content creators when the magical boost to viewership they are meant to experience never materializes. It is as
I would say it always materializes. It's better to have been reacted to than not, 100% of the time.
as if, for reactors, it is the content creator being stolen from who is responsible for making good content specifically for the reactor, and they have failed in their duty. If the degree of benefit, returned stolen exposure a creator gets is solely dependent on the quality of their content, then it shows just how redundant reactors are. This would be the case regardless whether they existed or not, making the reactor just middlemen growing fat and lazy on the labor of others. Admittedly, you'd have to have seen my other content to understand this, but when I say something is good, I mean in algorithmic sense. It appeals to the market, which I would have used clips to substantiate if you had let me make the video.
I mean, his point is, if it's good, more people will go watch it. Yeah. What does it matter, though? It's speech, dude.
It is very possible to make high-quality content that no one wants to watch, or to present it very poorly in regards to thumbnails and titles. But I consider thumbnails and titles to be a part of the package. Good content is that in which can be picked up by the algorithm. But it is the rest of this that is really important. As I point out, if you are making bad content, it doesn't matter if people react to it, it will still be bad content. If you are doing something wrong to not get picked up in the algorithm, even if a reactor looks at your content and you might get 10 more views, you will still be fucked in the long.
What does it matter, dude? He's taking a long way of saying bad content bad, good content good. Who gives a fuck?
Term, because you haven't solved any of the problems that's preventing you from growing successful. Success on YouTube is more than someone saying,
by the way, it's not always you're watching videos you like. A lot of the times people react to, and specifically me, 90% of the time the videos I watch are videos of people that I don't like, that I have a comment or criticism about. So the quality of their content doesn't matter to me at all.
hey everyone, look at that guy! And that is the point this paragraph and what came before it was meant to establish. Whether or not a reactor looks at your content is completely irrelevant to whether you're doing the right things to succeed long-term on YouTube.
Yeah, I agree, but it's totally irrelevant.
There are millions upon millions of channels, literally millions, that have made high-quality productions over the last decade that went nowhere, fell flat on their face. And it had nothing to do with XQC watching
This whole argument about if good creators succeed or not is just totally moot. It's completely besides the point. It has nothing to do with the conversation at hand.
Mom picks my next boyfriend for me or anything.
Yes, it does, which is why I spent 14 pages establishing.
14
which you have just
pages! 14! God, I haven't read that many pages since I was in 5th grade, bro. The little freaking caterpillar, man, he ate and ate and ate through the apples and the bananas and the pizza and the ice cream that caterpillar could eat. And I got to the 14th freaking page, dude.
completely glossed over. Every React video steals impressions away from original content. Every impression ever given to a React video would have gone to someone else if that React video didn't exist. Therefore, logically, original content creators would have gotten more impressions.
By the way, I think the problem he's making here is he's assuming if your video didn't exist, it would go to some small creator. No, it would probably go to Mr. Beast, Dude Perfect, Conan O'Brien, whatever. It's not like... It's not really a democracy out here in the algorithm. They're going to show videos that they know people are going to click and watch, dude. So it's not like he's stealing from the poor. That space is just going to go to another high click-through, high watch time creator, which ain't you. Oh!
Impressions if not for React content. As impressions are related to success, therefore, there would be more successful original content creators if React content didn't exist.
You're so boring, bro. It doesn't matter. Just move on.
Logically, attack a premise. I hope this gets to a point where he actually talks about the arguments in the document. Because right now, all I'm doing is just badly summarizing my own document.
How can you guarantee that by making high-quality productions, you're naturally going to blow up on YouTube?
If someone wants to look in the document,
Dude, you're deciding which parts to respond to, by the way. It's not like you're watching his whole video in totality. Because I already noticed that you cut one part where he says he doesn't upload it on YouTube. It's a bad reaction. You're choosing to react to parts and then being like, where's the part? Why does he keep saying this? This is the part that I specifically chose to react to. Boring. Lame.
document where I said high quality productions will always get exposure. I'd love to see it because I don't remember writing that. And the reason for that is I didn't actually write that. Charlie defined high quality productions as good content, not me.
This dude's on so much Adderall.
Something can be really high quality and fucking terrible, both in terms of watchability and in terms of its viability in the algorithm.
But you have no way of proving if that React content wasn't there. Those eyeballs
Oh my God, can I skip this? I hate this part. Is so pointless.
would go to that
Impressions would be clicked, but obviously
watched React content, might just go watch fucking Netflix, might just go on Twitch and watch some gaming streams or something. There's no guarantee that now that the React content's gone, those eyeballs turn towards the small YouTubers. You can't prove that.
Yeah, he's right.
nowhere in this document do I use small creators anywhere. Anywhere. The impressions logically would go to other people. If a person uses React,
No, his point is valid, bro. Why do you need to control F exact word he used to prove that he didn't what you're saying he's stealing impressions from other people. And he makes a fair point in saying, where's those impressions gonna go? They're gonna go to Mr. Beast, bro, not Joe Schmo channel, whatever.
content on Twitch to keep
It
people from
doesn't
going
matter,
to YouTube.
though. We're talking
that
about
is the same
free
thing.
speech.
I'm not talking about YouTube specifically.
Bro, I can't rehash this. I have to skip this.
If he hadn't done that, had he, as he should have, just turned off his stream, all those viewers would have gone somewhere else. Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, doesn't matter. But by using other people's content, you can keep your viewers there in your form of content aggregation. Reactors use React content to keep themselves online longer, to keep people on their channels longer. They use stolen content to keep people on their platform.
Dude, I gotta skip
Detail,
here.
meticulously detailed.
Whoa! How much?
Keep people on their platform. They act as content aggregators to keep people with them,
Did he say
not
14
finding other
min-
people. This is all meticulously detailed in that document.
Meticulously detailed. Dude, this is like a medical journal.
So the claim is completely baseless. I know you drew this diagram, but there's no source here. You're just pulling this out of your ass. I would love to know where you got this data from, if you have that available.
For my old viewers, it's the meme. This is a diagram used to explain a point. You're using diagrams to explain a complex idea you
Is
have.
this what it's like from here on? Because this shit is off the rails, guys. I need something more juicy than this. Let me skip forward.
Talking about YouTube. If a person sees this, no React content, and goes, well, I'm going to go watch TikTok then, and watches a
They're still talking about the impressions. It doesn't matter. It's free speech, bro. It doesn't matter.
close to arguing that point in all 14 pages that I wrote.
However,
14? Did you hear that? 14 pages. Oh my God. How many pages is of War and Peace? 14, I think. Damn.
off the top of my head, I can think of multiple examples in times where React content has genuinely helped smaller creators like blow up their channel. My channel,
He's right.
I'm the perfect example of it. My channel literally got kickstarted because of Ray William Johnson reacting to my QWOP video in 2010.
You know what? He's right. One of our big breaks was Filthy Frank upload. He didn't even react. He just straight ripped it off. He uploaded one of our video edits to his Facebook page. And that got us like, 1,000 subscribers, which was like a huge boost for us. So yeah. And he, like I said, that was just straight up, like he just ripped it off and uploaded it. And it was great.
Without that happening, I probably wouldn't have this channel right now.
And if Ray William Johnson didn't exist, those tens of millions of impressions that he had would have gone to other content creators. Again, due to the causal relationship between impression and views, other content creators would have gotten more views.
Oh my God, bro. You are so annoying. He's, by the way, he's kind of, first of all, I'm just going to entertain this. It's so stupid. He's been talking about this for like 20 minutes. If there's a creator that is more successful at keeping people on the site longer That's what YouTube favors, right? AKA the opposite of your content, Dark Viper, because I'm fighting every urge to click off this. If you have a content creator that keeps you on the page longer and you click more videos, guess what? He's generating more impressions. Okay, if Ray William Johnson never bumped Critical and Critical didn't exist, those people would be on YouTube less, theoretically, and you might theoretically be getting less impressions, or other creators be getting less impressions. When creators are more successful, it's better for the platform. When you have more successful creators, you bring more people to the platform. More people stay on the platform longer. When they click your video, they get more suggestions. There's more impressions. So you are looking at it so simplistically and so wrong. And once again, it literally doesn't matter because it has nothing to do with free speech.
Potentially other people would have then been discovered. Potentially their careers would have gone off. As I showed
No, he doesn't take that away. Doesn't take that away.
in the diagram and argued in painstaking detail. It isn't my...
14 pages. Painstaking details.
belief that reactors don't give some exposure to other people. It is that they steal far more from themselves than they give back. Absent the reactor, more content creators will be getting more exposure.
Wrong. Like I said, good channels keep people on the website longer. They generate more impressions. Checkmate.
Obviously, because every impression that went to a reactor's video...
Dude, you've explained it 50 times. Your content sucks, dude. You're mad. You don't get impressions, bro, because you explain things 20 times. I gotta skip you again. Jesus, dude.
Content creators can only release a video every once in a while to try to do the same thing. The reactor will always be able to steal more impressions than a visual
I just skipped like 5 minutes. He's still talking about impressions.
content creator will be able to get for themselves. Because the reactor can make far more content. I use make there very loosely.
The reactors don't watch tiny content creators who can't catch a break. They find videos that are already doing well in the algorithm and are already successful.
That is a huge assumption, by the way. Definitely not true. My favorite types of videos are the weird, strange shit. And, you know, I don't know what kind of assumption that is to make. It's just bullshit, straight up.
Thus do not need their exposure. Reactors are not seeking out content to give it any sort of boost, seeking out content to bring themselves the maximum amount of profit for the least effort.
That's dumb.
So I just think this immediately runs against that, since the majority of content I watch and react to is small content like Ordinary Sausage, like Slap Fight Championship. Of course.
Yeah, he's right. And by the way, it doesn't matter, again, but he's right. Charlie does react to a lot of smaller videos, as do I, as do, I'm sure, all the other people he listed.
Sprinkled throughout there are some bigger content creators as well as organizations that I just appreciate the work of and think that they're fun. But the majority of it has always been the smaller creators.
I would like for this guy, Viper, to take a poll of small creators who would be angry that one of these big React channels that he listed would watch their video on stream. I'd like to get a poll of people who say, no, I don't want the publicity. I'm angry that you're stealing my content. He's the only person on the internet. The only one. He's speaking for all small creators everywhere. I love when people on Twitch watch my videos. When I put so much effort and so much love into videos on H3's production, I would see people react to it. It was great. I loved it. And it always provided more views and more subscribers and more growth for me. It's awesome. I want to see a poll of people, Viper, who are angry.
And of course, not always is that like reacting going to help them. In fact, I would argue that it's pretty rare for it to.
How do you find them, Chris?
I disagree with that totally. I don't even know why Charlie's saying that. He's wrong. The only time it may not help them is if you're criticizing them. But again, free speech doesn't need to be, you know, if you're just expressing your constitutional right to have an opinion, it doesn't need to benefit them.
Critical. Through the algorithm. The only reason you know those videos exist is because someone had that video fed to them in the algorithm. And if that creator has the ability to succeed, if they're doing the right things and the algorithm is serving their content, then eventually they will succeed. All you're doing is keeping viewers for yourself as long as...
So, by the way, when you make a reaction to a video, let's say Charlie reacts to a small video, 100,000 views, he makes a reaction video. He titles it blah blah blah. This video I'm reacting to. Dude, that video is going to get so many more impressions in the sidebar because the YouTube algorithm knows it's associated with this video Charlie's watching, and it's going to recommend it. It's going to get it like a gajillion more impressions. And I'm tired of talking about impressions.
As possible to prevent them finding other creators themselves. Because why go anywhere else if you're the one-stop shop for content? Every single viewer who is watching you watching YouTube videos would be doing something else. And I would argue the vast majority of them would be watching other content online. Would be potentially being shown impressions of other content creators and go, oh, this is a very interesting channel right here.
Dude, I can't keep watching these arguments about impressions.
To yourself and then giving a fleck to someone else. You are a net negative in terms of your viewers finding content creators they enjoy. You have collectively denied them so much content they would love.
It is still against his point. I'm not reacting to things that are just going to bring the maximum amount of profit. That's not what I care about. I've never been a money-driven person.
Yeah, you can't.
So Charlie has 2 million followers on Twitter. 2 million followers.
By the way, you can't make that assumption. That's a wild assumption to make about someone. That just seems like total BS.
He could direct at any time to any YouTube video that he desires. He could tweet out, hey guys, this is an amazing video, check it out. He'd get nothing out of that, of course. The exposure would directly go to that content creator and translate to some amount of views. Let's see how many times he's done it.
You're just going to scroll through his Twitter and decide. I mean, yeah, if he tweeted it out, then it might get him like 10, 20,000 views maybe. But if he makes a reaction video and it gets like 3 million views, it's going to get a lot more. And by the way, once again, it doesn't matter if he tweeted it out, bro. You're missing the point.
We're still at 0. Still at 0 here. We got a lot of pictures of Charlie, of course.
So stupid.
No video there. I'm sorry. It's a video. Oh, it's a video. It's someone. It's getting exposure to someone. Who could it be? Oh, it's Charlie. Never mind.
Yeah, you're on his Twitter. He's going to be promoting his own videos, bro. This is so stupid.
Whoops. Still no one. So we have a platform that Charlie could use to give exposure to whoever the fuck he wants for no benefit to himself, and he doesn't do it at all. There must be exceptions in here somewhere. But he spends dozens of hours re-uploading.
Oh, I can't. This guy is just rehashing. He's not going anywhere interesting. He is he's raving. He's angry. He's bitter. And I don't think that anyone who read this would agree with him, actually. And I don't think that small creators who are looking for their big break agree either. Because in fact, listen, I came up from the bottom, just like Charlie did. And you get your big breaks, at least me and Charlie, I know because we kind of came up together. Some dudes break it through the algorithm. Most people don't. Most people get big breaks from getting shout outs, being reacted to, doing a collaboration. Where the algorithm actually pumps the channel like crazy is usually the worst kinds of channels. Let's be honest. Leafy is here. Rice Gum. These are the channels that were like pumped by the algorithm, dude. And then there's good channels, but like it's formulaic as heck. Like you've got Dude Perfect, Mr. Beast, and these are the channels that get pumped by the algorithm, dude. It's not React content. I'm just telling you, it's just not, dude. I've been around for long enough.
Uploading other people's content to his Twitch stream and his YouTube.
Well, Leafy was, but back then was a different time. So yeah.
He doesn't give people shout outs on his Twitter where he can't benefit from such shout outs.
Dude, you looked 1 month. Also, who cares?
Ain't that weird? They're the only.
You're so boring, dude. I'm gonna wrap this up. This guy's annoying me. Let me just skip forward again. I'm willing to bet. I can't do it anymore. I can't watch this anymore. Look, he's just talking in circles. Okay. In summary, Charlie bad, Viper good, right? That's his summary. Listen, he wrote a 14-page immaculate transcript, a manifesto. Took a lot of Adderall to do it. So it's in the description. I'm linking his video. Go watch it for yourself. But in short, he just seems bitter. He really does. He doesn't seem... I don't like it. I don't get it. I don't like it. And if you got a problem, I don't give a shit because it's free speech, baby. I'm going to react to you all day. What you going to do about it, dude? Unalienable rights. Okay? And I'll tell you what else I'm going to do. I'm going to write a 15-page essay about why you're a poo-poo head. How about that, dude? I'm going to start with why your fingernails so long. Check these out, dude. Poo-poo head number 1.
Person spends 5.
Oh, let me go back. Dude's got long fingernails. Cut your fingernails, bro. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? Got him. Guess what? Free speech. Okay? I don't need your consent. Also, don't like seeing your armpit hair. Wear a shirt. Okay? Cover yourself. You're not fat or anything. I mean, you look like you're healthy. Yeah, I just don't want to see your armpit hair all the time. Okay? Free speech. Don't need consent. Look, I didn't come to this video expecting to like be totally defending or simping for Charlie. I came here open-minded as possible to be receptive to Dark Viper's points. He does have good points, okay? For example, on Twitch, the reacting to television shows, it's got to stop. They can't keep doing that. That is going to hurt the whole ecosystem. He also makes a fair point about like Charlie watching these Fall of Queeby, where he just watches it silently on Twitch. Although that is a more nuanced situation potentially, because like he says he didn't upload it to YouTube. I don't know. These things are complicated. We're talking about fair use and copyright. These are not easy things to sort out in this fashion. But ultimately, what Viper's rant here, it just seems to be the kind of ramblings of a bitter dude who is just mad that Charlie has found a way to make more videos easier and more successfully. And I don't know what to say, man. It's just what it is. It's free speech. That's it. I don't need consent for free speech, you know? And this whole Charlie Day conspiracy about impressions and stuff, which is so exhausting. I mean, I just don't care, bro. Anyway, peace out, guys. And remember, 14 pages. 14 pages. You better read that. Take your time, though. Get a glass of juice, get a coffee, put your feet up, light the fireplace. It's going to take a while. That's 14 whole pages. Okay? All right.
Wow, Ethan, great moves. Keep it up. Proud of you.